Hi, this is my observing video. My name is Amy Murphy. I am in EDLD 5397, section E03, AP2. The date is November 2nd. This video shows a faculty meeting at Terrell Elementary School in Port Arthur. Was a special meeting because our superintendent, Dr. Mark Portery, came and visited. He basically went over monitoring students, teacher complaints, teacher needs, teacher wants, what's going on around the district, what's going on around the state. He's very motivating, and I'm glad I got to video this for my observing video.
In the office right now, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody. First day in the classroom, November. Let's go. Wonderful. All right. You all had a great day of instruction. We do have a special visitor with us today, the hardest working superintendent in the state of Texas, Dr. Portery.
You gotta come up front because the air conditioning kicked on and I'm having to use my elementary voice.
That's right.
Good afternoon to you all. It's good to see you all here. It's a good day. As you said, it is November 2nd, so that is good. 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. So that's even better. So we're counting. Now, who's counting? We're not counting, but it is good to know that we are headed in that direction. Let me congratulate you all for what you are doing here at Terrell Elementary. And today I came up one of the streets, and so I had to go around the one way, which is a one-way around. So I went around the whole school. But I did see a lot of traffic, a lot of cars, and I also saw a lot of staff members outside working the traffic, and that was awesome. It really was. There were a lot of kids. And then I saw a lot of kids going back into the building. I'm thinking, it's not morning yet. Why y'all should take leave, go home? But they were coming back in, and that's a good thing as well. So, but everything was in line. Saw a lot of, everybody was calm, but there were a lot of cars out there, a lot of kids. And that is a good thing, though. So we are looking at the drawings for the school, and that's going to be awesome once that renovations are done. So I am excited about that. So you all will not have all this traffic. There's going to be a lot of land that they're redrawing, driveways for staff members and driveways for parents. And it's going to be really, good. Everybody will be under one roof, and that's a good thing. So we're ready to get rid of portable buildings, and that's a good thing. We want to get rid of all the portable buildings. So that's in the making. But let me say, I am just going around visiting, and I didn't know how long it would take to get to 14 campuses. I'm on my 13th campus, but that's a good thing. And learned a lot talking to, and seeing the differences. Some campuses were concerned about paper and for the CDAs. Some campuses were concerned about toner. Some campuses were concerned about teachers. So differences in the campuses. So just to talk with you to see where your thoughts are, see if there's anything we can do on this end to help out. Looking at some things, how we're moving. There are a lot of changes that are happening in the state of Texas. And that's, I guess, a good thing in some ways and not so good in other ways. But excited about all the changes. Because we're still in, we have to be excited. But trying to see exactly what we can do. You know, we're moving into phase 2. So that's interesting. Listening to what we need to do for phase 2. And we're going to move up every year through 2022, 21, 22. So that's interesting to see. We're working right now with our special ed department and our bilingual department because we're in some staging issues with them. We're trying to figure, and the state wants our special ed students to pass that STAR test. Doesn't matter if they're special ed, they want them to pass the STAR test. So we're looking at how we can better achieve that goal. Now, how we, everyone is wondering, thank you. Wow, we got to get the air conditioning kind of fixed on that one as well. So it's a good time. It's a good time to figure out exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. With KDS, I understand I'll be here in the morning to talk about KDS with some of you. I understand that's kind of a difference. with KDS, but it's a good thing. I'm not sure how many of you understood why we came up with KDS. We looked at how we needed to help teachers. You know, we understood that teachers are coming to us with a lot of questions, and we had a meeting last year, and we asked teachers 0 to 3 years, what could we have done better? What do you all need in order for you to be more successful in the classroom? And so teachers told us we need someone with us all the time, we need help, we need someone that can stay with us. I asked if they have a mentor. They said, yeah, we saw a mentor the first day, and we didn't see our mentor anymore the rest of that year. We needed somebody to help us walk through it. And I remember so vividly, there was one teacher, and I'm not sure if he's here, so I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he's an engineer, and some of you who were at the meeting may have remembered him. He's an engineer, chemical engineer, and he said, they threw me in a classroom, and I didn't know what to do, and these children were in there, and no one helped me, and the whole year was just sorry, just pitiful. He was just like, and he was bending that day, and so I could feel him. You know, the man has to be smart, and I can relate to him. Okay, you in the classroom with 25 or more students, 3 of your students are on grade level, 3 of your students are 3 years below grade level, 2 of your students have Asperger's, 2 of your students are bipolar, 5 of your students are just badasses, you know, and you're like, what am I to do? And no matter how smart you are, when you walk into a classroom with all of those different levels, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, but when you have all of those children looking at you, it's like, what do I do? And a lot of our teachers are coming to us from the alternative education programs. They have never had the 1 year. You know, when we came back in the olden times, I date myself, you know, we were in school and we had a 1 year where we had to go into student teaching without pay. No one paid us for that, but it was a 1 year going into the classroom, so we had some type of understanding of how bad they were before we got into it. We don't have that anymore. Then we have a lot of our teachers that are coming to us from different careers. So, and you just don't know, and it's different. It's different now because there are a lot of variables that are that we have to face this year. You know, with parents are different, students are different, and they're coming to us with all kinds of differences that we have to understand how to deal with. So that's how we came about with KDS, to try to understand some of the variables in which we're faced with. A lot of it we're going to change next year because we understand that Unit 3 should have been at the beginning. A lot of teachers are saying that we should do it early in the summer, and that would help us when we start the school. No one has said it's really bad. It's just the timing of it and the amount of work. So, and I can understand that. So we're going to tweak some things in order to help with our new teachers. We've increased supervisors to be in there to help you in your classrooms, model for you, do some things that you would have them to do. We're getting out of the administration building because that's not what we need to do. We need to get out into the buildings. And that's what I'm doing, trying to make sure that I'm out, because I need to understand, because we can stay in the administration building and talk all day, but if we're not communicating with the teachers, if we're not connecting with teachers and students, we can read all of the textbook things that we read in articles about students, but until we're in the trenches with you understanding, I am about to go into something, I haven't done that in 16 years, but one teacher at a different school was talking about some things about how bad her kids were and all this stuff. So I said, okay, well, I'll come in and I'll teach a class for you for a day. So I'm going to do that. And she looked at me and I said, well, I'm coming. And so I gave her a date. And so now what I did not think about, which I should have thought about before I put the foot in it, you know, because I was math at the time when I was teaching. Now this is a writing class, a 4th grade writing. I'm thinking, but I didn't tell her that. So I'm going to get in the writing class and I'm going to learn the standards and get in there and try to do. But as I think about it, it's exciting, but then I think about writing and that's not as exciting. But I will do it and do it well. And I'm going prepared for the kids. So that's going to be, I'm going to pick them up from the gym and take them all day long, and she's going to be in the back of the class. I'm going to have them all day. So that's going to be an experience. But it's going to be interesting. I think that it's going to be fun in a way to get back. And it'll get me out of the administration building. I'm telling you, anytime I get a chance to get out of that administration building, I'm going to run to the kids every time as I'm dealing with parents and adults all day. So those are some of the things we're doing. We're looking at just a whole lot of changes in the state of Texas. that we have to address, and we have to address those issues. So it's not like we have a choice with all of those things. I did ask if there's anything that you need, we can help, and as I said, once week they were saying that the paper, you use a lot of paper when we're running off the Scantrons during the CBA testing. Now, I listened to that and I said, okay, we use paper. They said, oh, we use a whole bunch, we're using more paper than we did last year. And you know, I do comprehend something. I said, okay. And I just listened. I said, okay, we're using more paper than we did last year. Now, last year, the Scantrons were copied and the names were on the side. So you had to make copies for every subject area that the students were administered. This year, you're copying the Scantrons for every subject area that they're taking. So I'm trying to figure out how much more paper are you actually using, because it's the same amount of tests, and you're just copying, you're copying the same thing. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do this. I'll send 5 reams of paper to your principal, and they can use it for just Scantrons. You don't use your paper. Oh, great, great, great. And I'm thinking, okay, that's okay, fine. If you think you're using more paper, fine. So got through that issue. I'm thinking, but I still don't understand how you're using more paper, because it's the same amount of text. So, but whatever you say, whatever you say. So I'm good with that. And of course, toner and all that other stuff that you have to deal with. So what are some of the issues that you're having that we can help you with, if possible? Okay, speak now, forever hold your peace.
We couldn't happen to get just one more copy.
No. How many copies do you have?
One. For all the teachers.
Oh, you just have one copy?
For 800.
Oh, I'm sure we can.
We have 2 copiers.
Okay.
They can print to
We
one
can
big
use it.
copy.
No, they put the one in the office. They only have access.
Okay, but now when MIS, did they come and now you should have a copy of that teachers can print too. You should have Algo. You should have more than one copy.
We do have 2
And so
copies.
So teachers can't print to this.
I saw
No, we can only have
One
one.
in the office.
Dr. Chambers, they moved it in the office.
You can use that one, but you may not be able
We
to.
were told.
We were told we had to share that one with the office.
Okay, so you have one copy for teachers. You have another copier that's in the office that the office uses.
It wasn't in the office at first. We just moved into the office because one of our copiers went down.
Okay.
Okay, so, Ms. Gibson, how does the other copier work? The one in the hallway that we moved to the office, how was it working before? Wasn't everybody able to use it?
They were able to make copies on it,
Yeah.
so not to print directly to it.
Was it programmed?
Okay, so before, hold up, I don't wanna make it a big mess. Before it was moved there, weren't y'all copying on the one in the hallway by the office?
Yes.
You were copying.
Okay.
But you couldn't
But
use
not
your
now.
phone number because it only had 200 copies.
Yeah, we had to use different
But then she add on more to you?
Okay, let's just do this. Let's just do this. You have one copier now that teachers can copy on. Let me ask you, so can you print to it? Okay, you can't print to it. So you have one copy that you can copy, you can't print to. You have another copy, that copier that's in the office that you used to be able to use, but you still couldn't print to it.
Right.
Okay, so let's work on getting the copy that you can copy on, that you have access to, able to print to, and I'll get you another copy here where you can print to as well. That's an easy one. Okay, that's all mine. If it's just a copy, I can work that one. Yeah. Okay, what else? Please email me that, just Dr. Chambers, if you could, because between now and the time I get back to the administration building, we have a bus accident, we have some kid that's missing, some parent cursing us out, and so my mind just won't, my mind may forget, but yeah, we can take care of that. That's an easy one. What else? You got a copy, you better come on. While it's almost Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is my favorite time. I'm pretty easy during this time. I love the holiday season, Thanksgiving. I'm not too much on Christmas, but I spend a whole lot of money. But Thanksgiving, I'm really happy. So ask now or forever hold your peace.
Can I have a teacher's assistant? Like,
Business assistant?
Can I have a living grader.
A living grader. Woo! The teacher said, and a living grader. Well, I'm gonna have to think on that.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Yeah, hey, ask not.
Not that happy.
Okay, you all have all of your textbooks. You have all your textbooks. No? What textbooks are you missing?
3 social studies, and I don't right now for the 6 weeks, I don't know much Texas treasurer.
Okay. Well, if you, I'm not sure of the process here, but the assistant principal, I'm not sure of the process. I'm not. To be first, I'm not here to suggest or change anything that the principal is doing. Okay. When I say this, it's just. I'm just talking. Usually it's the assistant principal that handles textbooks. So if you email her what you need, and if you get with Mrs. Tran at the media center, she can get you those books and those readers. And if she doesn't have, we can order them. We want you to have the readers that you need in order to, for the students to have them. So that's.
Mr. Nina put in an order for the extra textbooks before Ms. O'Shea got here, so I'll check with her to see if this, are those new students this cover, or this
Yes.
is old?
New.
If it's new, you have to.
Okay, but there's a shortage with 3rd grade. We've already started addressing that, but I don't know about 1st grade, so we'll check on that.
Yeah, we can see, she put in an order before, so anything new, we still have incoming students, so.
Okay. Well, good.
I don't doubt that we need some books.
If you need textbooks, just ask. Congratulations, I saw you at the corner. I think the music teacher at the corner.
That's right,
Directing
that's
traffic,
right.
so congratulations. Yeah, I said that before you got in, but
It
yeah.
is a great honor to be at the corner.
Great.
And she does an excellent job.
Yes,
She does.
yes.
Okay, I'm excited because now in the music room I have a telephone and I've got the internet came in just last week.
Yes.
Big
yes.
deal. Projector got put in, but there's no electrical hookup, no electricity running to that projector yet.
Okay.
And the workman said it was not on their little list of things to do.
Okay, now,
And I know when our new curriculum comes in, it's all going to be projected off the projector.
now let me ask this for clarity. There are
Sure.
4 computers. Back up. There are 4 portables that we're getting ready to put electricity
Okay.
to.
And that may
Is that one of them?
that may be
We
it.
just-
They've been working on that. Ms. Gibson knows a whole lot more about
Okay,
that.
okay.
We're working on that. I'm in communication with Terry Bellinger, and I'm sure he
Good.
will refer me on to maintenance.
And that'll take care of it.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so when the new music curriculum comes in, that'll take care of you.
Okay, great. Because I know we had that going on and that was approved.
And also, our
Thanks.
library has been out for about, how many weeks
Yes.
now? Ms. Gibson?
For probably going on 6 weeks now, 5, 6 weeks. The ceiling, I don't know if you know, the ceiling kind of fell in, and, okay, so let me back up and say, look, large chunk of ceiling fell, broke some stuff, but anyway, it's gotten fixed, but in the process of getting it fixed, some electrical conduit and some technology conduit had to be removed off the wall. Our electricians came in and reconnected all the electricity and put it back in the conduit, looks all great, but the technology is still hanging. And they know, and we were waiting on a bid to come in because they contracted that out to be put back up into the conduit so that I can get my circulation disc, because it's right where my circulation disc is.
Oh,
So we have been waiting patiently.
have you reminded Terry?
Yeah, they
On
know.
multiple
They said they were gonna take care of the portables first,
And they,
get them all situated, then they would, so.
in middle of last week, I think, is when they finished that. And the last time I heard, which I think Terry was out of the office last week, but he said that we were waiting on the last pieces to come in. It was an order, because they're also putting a projector in my library for the first time. I'm real excited about that as well. But they were going to put all that together and do it all at once. Well, if the parts are not coming in real quick, I just assume they go ahead and put the stuff back in the conduit.
Okay. Okay.
But I have talked with Terry, and I don't know what the holdup is, and I don't know that he really knows. So, and I haven't visited with him today. I did text him earlier, and I know that he was back the first day after being on the so I'm just kind of
Okay,
waiting.
great. Just send us an email and then I can remind you. We'll see where we are with this.
Yes, sir.
Anything else that will help you along your way? Let me say this, and it's not a perfect situation, There are a lot of changes, a lot of things that are happening that we have to do in order to move forward. I will say that it's not just happening here. We didn't get a call, we received a call last week from HISD. Who would have thought HISD would be calling us to see what we're doing? And one conversation was about the KDS. They're wanting to come, they're wanting to purchase, they are purchasing it, but they want to know how we rolled it out. They want to know what we've done to it. I know, so it's an HIS, and what they're saying is, and I didn't know, it just sounded so large to me because we're in a, but they say they have 1,500 new teachers. And they say they have 1,500 new teachers. They've had 1,500 new teachers for the last 5 years. So, and I'm thinking, I don't have 1,500 employees. You have 1,500 new teachers. They say yes. And I'm telling you, it's horrible here. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm thinking, oh, good. Because, you know, and I'm thinking, it makes you feel good that somebody else is in the boat, but in a larger boat. I mean, so that's like, so they're going to come here in December, and they're going to talk with some teachers, and yeah. and please, because I'm saying, when I say that, they're looking for ways as well to help their teachers because they're seeing the same problems. And I'm telling you, it's something that's, but it's good that they're coming here. Who would have thought HISD would come to Port Arthur to figure out what's going on? So that is a good thing. So when we talk and meeting with the superintendents who's not resigning, because you know, even the superintendents are leaving. Now you say teachers. We had the commissioner who resigned, Mike King in Bridge City, he resigned. We have the superintendent at HISD resigned. We have the superintendent 2 Fridays ago in Lamarck resigned. And these people with the 3-year contract, they say, no, it's just too much. Now I've talked to 3 out of the 4. I talked to all 4, even the commissioner. But they were like, you know, it's just too much. You know, Mike King is going into insurance. He's leaving, yeah. The whole profession. It is getting a little bit much. You know, it is getting, and people are just, you know, their health is more important. You have to deal with all this stuff. So it's not just teachers that are leaving. I just say this, we're all complaining. Even superintendents and principals, everyone's complaining. But it is good. It's good to know that it's good to know that it's not just Port Arthur that are having issues. It's everywhere, I'm telling you, it's everywhere. And students are crazy everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it to be negative. I really don't mean this to be negative when I say it. But it wasn't a good thing by no means. But 2 weeks ago when the student brought the 2 guns to Cleveland High School, you know, and one thing about it that I thought was interesting, that it was in the news. Because I'm telling you, in the past, that would not have been in the news. That would have been hidden. But if it were Port Arthur, CNN, The Examiner, PA News, Channel 6, KOLE, K102.5, I mean, people would have been calling and parents would have been, oh, they're killing us, oh, they're killing us. I mean, all of that mess. But this gentleman brought 2 guns to school, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, you put that on television and it ran for a while. So I'm thinking, yeah, there are crazy kids everywhere, not just in Port Arthur. Not just in Port Arthur. So it's happening all over the place. So, but I will say that our students, even the high school, I must say, we have some issues, but the high school is better. When you walk into high school, you don't see kids walking. You know, we did implement a dean of discipline over there, and he is doing a magnificent, everybody's wondering how he was going to do. He's doing a magnificent job. Now the kids, they call him the Dean of Death. So that's, you know, but that's a good thing. And then we have another guy over there, Mr. Tremont, that is just out of sight. He's just wonderful. Mr. Tremont is just, I mean, he came in with a ball of fire and he has not stopped. And it's just wonderful to see him work. He's all over the place. You know, he's wonderful. And the kids want discipline. They really do. And the kids are doing, and as I was telling, you know, some people say, you have to holler at them and scream. I say, no. You know, that's not what we want to project. We want kids to do what they're told to do, and you want to talk to them like they're human. And you want them to understand that you can talk to me, not scream at me, not yell at me, not curse at me, and I will be able to respond to what you're asking. And that is what's happening. We see a transformation. And I see them, if something is going on, they'll walk up to a student, they'll say, come here, let me talk to you. And so you're taking them out of their peers, where they're gonna, if you get into their face and start yelling at them, you know they're not gonna take that too well because they have to show that they're bigger than you are and all this stupid stuff. But when you take them out and just ask them, you need to redirect yourself, and they're doing that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So we haven't, but now I'm saying that today, watch something happen tomorrow. But for right now, but things are going really, really well. And the kids are really trying. They're working hard. They're coming to the after-school program. They're coming to the morning tutorials. So that's a good thing. And Tara, you're doing a great job. You know, your student enrollment. Whew, at one time it was when we renovated the first time in 2007. All of the schools were about 600. And I mean, everyone wants to come to Terrell and Adams. I don't know what it is with those two schools, but we keep saying we have others, but they're moving into this area and they want to come to Terrell. So we're going to redraw the lines eventually. As soon as we renovate and build the new schools, we are going to redraw the lines. We're going to have to do it for Dowling because they're building the apartments on 365, and those kids are going to flock over to Dowling, and that's going to be a mess. And that's the only school they can go to. They can't come to Adams because Adams is already busting at the seam. So we're going to have a problem there. So, and that's the closest school that they'll be able to attend. So we are going to redraw lines. But you are doing well here at Terrell. You really are. We have to do better with our STAR scores, and that's something that everybody is working on. Everybody's scared about. And the test is not harder. It's just students have to get more answers correct. So we're going to have to ensure that happens. And special ed and bilingual. That's a big issue. And as I said before, they want those special ed kids to pass that STAR test. And you know, we did go down a little bit with our STAR A. We went from modified to STAR A, and the students didn't do that well, but they're just not accepting that. I don't care, it's the same test that the GT are administered, that the regular population, but they want those special ed students, no matter what the disability is, they want them to pass that test. So how we do that, I don't know, but that's not a Port Arthur thing, that's a state. So we just have to figure out how to get them to have growth or pass the test. I don't know, it's not anything that we want. It's something that we're faced with. So, but anything else? That was, you all had some very easy things.
What would be the timeline for the copy?
I'll work with Joe Escobedo tomorrow, and then I can get it here. We'll just order another. That's an easy one. But hopefully this week, I'll get through Hernandez.
This might only pertain to those who teach the little people, but our parents really love to come to our school here at Terrell. I think if we would let them pull up a chair and stay in the hall, they would all day.
Yeah.
And teachers have our prep time from 7:45 to 8:15. And I was just wondering if you had any suggestions on ways that we could better control the flow of parents into our classroom every morning from 7:45 to 8:15. And then some of them manage to hide under stairwells or something, and they're still at the door at 8:30 and we're doing calendars.
Y'all have stalkers.
And there's parents, they're like, good morning. So can I talk to you? And you're like, why? Can I teach you fit first?
Yeah. You know what? And that may be, and I'm just going to, off the top of my head, there may be a letter that you can write the principal.
Chambers, she's done a great job. Our Chambers has been fantastic. She comes on the announcements to tell them to the parents that we love your children, but it's time for you to leave.
Okay. Well,
You know why I didn't go and I didn't step further? Listen to my boss. Remember when we talked about really for Thanksgiving and like you said, we don't want to discourage them, we don't want to push them out.
correct.
So I know there's a way to do it, but
Correct.
sometimes I don't know how far to take it because I know then the complaints come to you all
Correct.
that
Okay.
we're not allowing them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to have free
But-
course, 'cause I know there's a limit. Well, you'll have some schools now. I've been at a former campus where I would beg for the parents to come. You don't see it, And here is like an overflow. And then the tradition, the history has been they've been here. They were able to come in.
Yeah, it's a
and
culture.
So it's so.
Well,
there's a way
as I
to
said,
do it.
it's gonna be. I'll be here in the morning at 7:15. So I'll try to work some things out. Maybe I can do an announcement or so. That'd be fun. And then try to work with the parents. But I will say maybe a letter going out, letting them know that we're into tutorials and that we're trying to get together. So if parents can drop their kids and then leave and let us deal with what, and that's a way you can put that in a letter, where they would understand that I need to keep my drop, and then when they come to your door, you can say, did you receive the letter? You know, and then
English and Spanish.
yeah, oh yeah, both languages, and then you can have one of your desk. Here's a letter that went out, you know, very nice, and then you can kind of help them to understand.
Which is really a true blessing to be able to have pedestrians. It's a blessing to have parents to even.
Of course.
Want to have.
Of course, it is.
But can I ask a question? Are you talking about the ones all in the morning that just kind of linger?
Yeah, like
Yes.
we're tripping over strollers
And
and
so
knocking over people's toddlers, and it's 8:30.
I think that some of that, and you probably could, when we get a fence in area with, all you know, I think that will stop some of it. There's so many entrances to the building.
Yes.
We have blocked them down and we have tried to monitor that better, and I think it's better than it was before we got the back doors locked and all that. But I mean, we put up signs and giving out letters about not coming through the teacher insurance and not, but I mean, you get one that gets in and then they go and let all their friends in. I think they text and say, hey, the back door's open.
When they walk their third and fourth and fifth graders
Right.
all the way to the gym, I'm like.
And so I think
Yes.
some of that
Yes.
may be addressed whenever we really have a fence and we really put everybody going in one spot and going out one spot. Because we've talked a lot about that in those meetings with the architects about,
It will,
there's just,
yeah.
Another
Like
letter
Travis,
would
we
be
need to do
helpful
like
because
Travis.
we don't want to be the ones to have to make the parents mad because we're the ones who.
but I mean, we locked down the.
No, they locked all the doors.
No, but we locked this one.
I understand.
And when,
And we
you know,
can,
Miss
and we can,
Gately
it is
and
gonna be
whatever,
nice when
we'll
all
have
those
a parent
doors
go
are
out and
changed
show
out,
it out,
the
and show
black
the door
iron
for everybody in line.
gate all around.
When they know the big sign
Somebody up there
says,
doing.
yeah,
Okay, is there anything else? Yes.
right.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
They told me to pull them to the side and wait for them like one-on-one, but I still have to do my small group with my other students. And so this student, this student told me to come in and just tutor them, kind of like language wise. I'm doing after school tutoring anyway. But just during the day, when I'm doing my small group, I can't fit on to any other small group because so I was just thinking of maybe small group.
Correct. Now, I think Mr. Fernando is working with some of the students here.
He's going to try to add more.
Okay.
And he started out with a little small.
Good. And I am trying to get Mrs., and you probably don't know this, and some of you may, Mrs. Giannis, she worked with us at Sam Houston, and she's excellent. And her husband recently passed away, so I'm trying to get her back. I told her she needs to come back to work and stop reading. So, you know, you got, yeah, she does.
Get your mind off of that.
Yeah, get your mind off it. And it really would help her. She's excellent. So I am trying to get her back. So that may be something that we can do. And you know, we're going to have, we're creating a new public center at Stephen F. Austin once the 9th grade center is built. So it'll be, we're going to try to incorporate that with elementary as well, not over there. Yes, and it's, correct.
But during the day, academic class, it's so hard for me to teach them those skills and standards. When I have to do small group here, small group there, I have no way to place them because I have to talk to them in Spanish. But I'm trying to
Sure.
escalate my other kids to
Correct,
English.
correct.
So it's like I'm backfiring because I'm talking to them in Spanish and I'm talking to them in Spanish.
You probably get confused yourself. You supposed to talk Spanish or English. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay. But just add that to that. Let me know. And I keep trying to get, and as I said, I'm trying to get Mrs. Giannis back. So that might be something she can do. Okay, I understand. Yes.
Dr. Porter, can you explain to the staff too that when we talked about you all were looking for the funding for our additional teachers because we have so many sons on the campus?
Correct.
Yes.
That you and Mr. Waddle, so it won't be, I am telling the truth.
You are.
I've been
You
trying
are.
to get, you know, because there's so many complaints, it's to the teachers, it's to me.
Correct.
And I continue to inform everyone that, and even recently I asked Mr. Weigel about it and he said they were still.
Yes, and we are looking, we do have some vacancies, not as many as you would think. I think district-wide there are 560 teachers, I think there are 54 vacancies, and that's district-wide. And then a lot of that is with secondary, not as many with elementary. But we just don't want to put a substitute if we can help it. We would want to get someone who's highly qualified or certified in those positions. Because if you have a substitute in there, and some of our substitutes are wonderful, however, they just don't have the background to teach the subject. And that hurts. It really does. So we're really trying to beat the trees, for lack of a better term, in order to get the highly qualified certified. And that's a little different. And you know, as I said, things are different in 2015 than they were in 1992. You know, we thought we had some pretty good teachers, and they didn't turn out to be so good. Some teachers apply, and then we do the background check. You know, they have these things in their background that you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, there's some crazy stuff that happens. And then, now, I'm tolerable with some things, but when you have something I was accused of sexual something with any child, I don't care if it's 1974, you're not coming here. You know, it's just not coming. So there are a lot of things that we have to do before we put teachers, adults in the classroom. But we are looking, but we don't want anybody to come that if we know something is not right. But I'm telling you, background checks is huge these days. And I mean, there's some people that really had a good time in their history. I mean, a really good time. And you're thinking, oh, wow. And they really, and you know, really, for some of you young people, I have less years in front of me than I have behind me, thank God. But for the new age teachers that are coming in, and let them know, really be careful about that Facebook stuff. Because, you know, if you have two people that are even for a position, and we Google, you'd be surprised. That's what employers are doing now. They're Googling the names, and everything comes up. And some of these people, they'll tell you, I thought that was deleted. I mean, nothing is ever deleted. I mean, you can delete all day long. But I'm telling you, these pictures that you've taken 20 years ago, and they just show up. You know, you're thinking, that was behind me. I was young. I didn't mean to do that. But when you have a funny cigarette in your hand, you thought that was cool back then, and there's a picture, and there you are on the web. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And you're like, oh my God, you know, and believe it or not, we had that happen. You know, just Google in there. But you know, 20 years ago, and they just took a picture. You know, back then, technology wasn't as plentiful, but somebody took a picture and scanned it, and there it is. And that's you with your cigarette. And then it wasn't a Marlboro or whatever. And she, you know, then she's crying and going on, and I didn't know that was there, and no one told me that was there, and I didn't know that. I was in college back then, and I didn't. So be careful with that, because anything you do, and you take a picture, and that phone is serious. And it never goes away. It never goes away. So that's just for your thought. Just be careful. Be careful, because anything you say, anything you do,
Can be used against you.
it can be used against you in the court of law or in Mr. Wilder's office. So, because that's where it comes from. And it's so easy to look up. Your name. It's like, wow. So be very careful. Anything else?
I will say that the grass is very green over here. I've been on the other side of the fence, and the grass is very green over here.
Give you $10. Well, good. Well, great. That's good to hear, because, you know, some people don't believe that. You know, we complain all the time as humans. Yeah, as humans we complain. But I'm telling you, I'm glad you did say that.
Because it's funny to me when I hear little issues, and I'm like, if this is the least of the concerns, then we are good.
Yes. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's in the hood. But it's, and I do appreciate that. I really do. There's some things I need to hear. And I'm thinking, and that's why I'm saying when things come on television and other superintendents are complaining, it's not that I'm happy that they're having problems. I'm just so happy that it's just not me. Or it's just not PAISD. I'm like, and when I see them quitting because they're just frustrated, they say, I'm resigning. They have 3 years on they leave all this money on the table, like, I'm not going back now. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want children. I don't want to deal with parents. I don't want to deal with the staff. The staff is crazy. The principals are crazy. Everybody's crazy. I'm thinking, oh, I thought it was just me. But it's good. It's good. It's good. So you all go, but we really don't have as many. And when you say the grass is not, I'm telling you, there's some horror stories that we hear from people across the state. Some things that are really happening that are awful, that I know is just not good for children or for adults. And we do not have those issues, and that's a good thing. So for the most part, our kids, even though they have issues, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. And our parents, even though they might not know how to be what we call a perfect parent, they still care about their children. They may not know how to project that, but they still love their kids. They want what's best for them. Even though they may not have had a good experience in school, they want their children to have a good experience. And they may not know how to come across or how to deliver a message to us, which intimidates them because they feel everyone here is smart, that they come, you're going to look down on me and all this stuff. But they still have the best interest for their kids. Because anyone, you love your children, you don't have children, they have nieces and nephews, and you want what's best for them. So every day when we come to school, we just have to look at some things. Now, and I'm going to end by saying this, some things that that I had to break the ice with, and Dr. Chambers has been in one of the leadership meetings, the last leadership meeting. And when I say this, once again, I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not saying anything, but there's some things that we have to look at in KAISD. And so we're going through this cultural sensitivity, especially for our principals, our directors, because they have to be culturally sensitive to their staff. They have to understand how to deliver themselves to the staff. I hear the bullies, and I tell the principals, they're calling you all bullies out there. So what are you doing to the staff? Stop bullying people. Stop, talk to them like they're adults, because they are. And I mean from the custodian, the cafeteria worker, and usually when I see a cafeteria worker, if I know their name, is Mrs. Jones or Mr. Jones. Even the custodian, I don't feel comfortable calling a custodian, hey John, and they say, hey Dr. Porter, and the man is older than I am. Is Mr. Jones, is Mr. Williams, or Mrs. Especially because they deserve the respect, because they are adults. And we have to do that. So we have to understand how to be sensitive. And culturally sensitive when it comes to our children. Because we do have biases. And I asked them, okay, and ask your staff, when they see a special ed kid come into their room, do you already limit them? Or because they have the special ed title, you can't learn, or you can't do what my other kids are doing. So sit over here, I'm going to give you a worksheet because I know you're special ed, and this is what I'm telling you happens. Or when a bilingual kid walks into class, or you don't speak English, you're not going to be able to pass a test, so I got to do this for my other kids. That's happening. It's happening. And it's not, and I'm going to say this, it's not because we're bigots or we're prejudiced. It's just the way we look at children and the limits that we place on them when we see them. Because if we see a kid, if we see a black or African American kid that comes in, his shirt is torn, he's a little dirty, he's